So, you gotta love T. Because out of all the purchases that someone could make, right? Obviously, a house, car. A lot of people will buy their parents a house. You know, sometimes they go crazy with jewelry. Sometimes they're, ice out their mouth, etc. T. Higgins is putting a fish tank in his wall, which I'll be honest, I love so much. I'm always fascinated about fish tanks and stuff like that. Fish, I love the aquarium. So this is just an amazing idea, an amazing concept. And yeah, I can't wait to see pictures of what this ends up looking like in the end. We truly have the most perfect cast and crew together. Joe bought a Batmobile and T is buying a fish tank in his wall. Now, we don't know what Jamar's buying. Obviously, we have to wait and see on that one. We have seen him in the past. He has, gotten bling in his mouth. He's also gotten a chain with 7-Eleven on it. And he's also bought countless other things too. So I think at this point, Jamar just has to one up both of them and buy something absolutely insane. And then, we could really just see the next step up. Maybe like, I don't know, buy a house, but buy a house that's constructed to look like the Wayne's Manor from Batman. Like, do something like that, Jamar. You get $161 million. Like, we need a custom themed Batman house. That's what we need. I don't even know if he's into Batman. Obviously, Joe is, but I'm not sure what Jamar is actually into. But we need something crazy, okay? I think at this point, even like a fish tank in the wall, that's probably going to cost T at most. That would probably cost him like 25 grand. Maybe 30 grand at most to put that in his wall. So it's not like, it's not about spending the most money. Obviously, Joe did spend a couple million on the Batmobile, but it's not about spending the most money. It's really just about like the craziest concept. What's the craziest you can build or craziest thing you can buy with the money you just got? And yeah, so, and then obviously Joe Burrow gifted his offensive line katanas during Christmas. So it's just like, this is like the perfect situation where we just purchase the craziest freaking things possible. And it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. So I'll be interested. I kind of want to keep an updated log of what these guys buy with this money, because at the end of the day, I'm happy that we're not seeing them like spend it on like 6 different sports cars and 4 different houses, which sometimes does happen. And when players get money and then they end up going broke, and it's a whole entire process. And but hopefully, I think they're going to be smart with the money, which, they have a lot of, let's be honest. But as you've seen many times from the history books, even people who win the lottery and they win a couple $100 million, first off, the taxes come in and Uncle Sam says, "Oh, thank you so much. I'll take half of that money." But then after the half of the money's gone, yeah, they blow it. They blow it. And I think it's like the average football player, when they retire, they're broke. There's like a statistic about that. Like the average football player who retires, they don't have any money. And even though, yeah, they're getting paid crazy money, some of them, not every single player gets paid crazy money. But when you compare it to an average household in America who makes 60 grand a year, when you compare that to someone making 1.5, 2 million a year, again, Uncle Sam takes his cut. But when you compare it to that, it's like, it is a lot of money. It is a crap ton of money. But a lot of times they spend it. They could spend it on, sometimes illegal substances. Obviously, weed now is legal. They could spend it on cars, women, men, if that's their preference, you know, whatever, you know, induce their own whatever. But they spend it on all types of stuff, and it ends up, you know, destroying their lives in the end because they retire and they have no money. Now, back in the old days, players used to not make as much money as they do now, but a lot of players would open up restaurants at the end of their careers, and they would sink all the money they earned from the careers into a restaurant, and then a lot of those restaurants would go belly up, and the player would be, you know, poor, right? They'd have no money. So, yeah, it is what it is. I'll be interested to see, you know, again, like I said, what happens outside of, you know, what we've seen so far with the fish tank. Man, he better post that on social media and have stuff like posted about that, because I really want to see that. And also, Joe Burrow can't even get his Batmobile yet anyway. He has to wait to get his Batmobile. So we had to wait for him to get that. We had to wait to see this fish tank. Jamar, I don't know what you're going to buy, dude, but you got to buy something crazy. You got to buy the craziest freaking thing ever. Just, you have to one up. And I think that should be a thing on this team now. Everyone has to one up each other when it comes to buying crazy stuff. Again, I'm not saying expensive. I'm not saying they have to spend billions of dollars. But again, fish tank in the wall, great idea. Maybe a trampoline, the biggest trampoline possible in the backyard of like BJ Hill's house or something. Like, again, like we can go crazy here, boys. We can go absolutely crazy. But see you guys next one, though.